AI government contractors. It's another Tuesday. It's another Tuesday live. We're going to be starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard on the dot. I recommend that you send this to somebody who you believe is going to get value. If this is your first Tuesday live, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. But see you at 7 p.m. sharp. All right, guys, it's 6:55 on the dot. 6:55 on the dot, which means that we are 5 minutes away from beginning our Tuesday live. Today, we're going to be focusing on waste management contract, and we're going to be using Gemini to break down waste management contract. It's going to be another Tuesday live, breaking down contracts using AI. This is the time to send the link of this video to somebody who you believe is going to gain value from this live. And we're going to be starting in 5 minutes. All right, guys. All right, let's begin our Tuesday live right now. What you can see on the screen is actually a fulcrum. Today, I want to show you how you can have better leverage when it comes to bidding on contracts using AI. Now, the first thing I want to discuss is if you can look at the image on the screen right now, you're going to notice that there is a guy that's under a boulder. This is actually the best illustration of many people who are bidding on contracts today. The weight of what you need to do to bid on these contracts is typically bigger than the person who is bidding. Okay. The federal bureaucracy and 80-page RFPs and sources sought and whatever you want to call them would be one of the things that would get in the way of you winning your first contract. There is a manual labor trap. Most people are completely reliant on their willpower to win their first contract. And don't get me wrong, before AI, people were winning contracts, but it was mostly teams of people who would go through the RFP, teams of people who would come together to write out a proposal that captures the attention of the government agency for which they're pursuing the contract. But today we have these AI tools that we could use. But just having the AI tool is not enough. Relying on your sheer efforts to navigate government contracting is a recipe for burnout. Just in case you didn't know, one of the most popular words that I hear in government contracting is overwhelmed. Godwin, I'm super overwhelmed with the solicitation. Godwin, I was trying to get in contact with a subcontractor. I got super overwhelmed with the process of trying to get in contact with them. Godwin, I was extremely overwhelmed when I had to write a proposal for the government contract. The most popular word used in government contracting is overwhelmed. And it's not because the process is impossible. It's not because there is no money behind government contracting, but it's because many people are relying on their willpower to win their first contract. And the truth is that you cannot lift the bureaucracy with your bare hands. It's going to be impossible. By the way, you can throw a one in the chat if you've ever gone through a government solicitation and you felt completely overwhelmed. You thought to yourself, man, what is this? How am I going to understand this? You can throw a one in the chat so other people can see that, yeah, there is this particular issue. Okay. So let us first of all try to get away from the labor trap. And that labor trap is trying to do everything by yourself and trying to do everything manually. This is where most small businesses fail. I like to talk about the three major problems that most small businesses will encounter while bidding on government contracts. And listen carefully. I am not here to tell you that we're going to solve all the problems that you would come across. It's going to be a complete abject lie. But there are certain problems that most small business owners will come across, and we have found solutions within AI tools. Those are the problems that we're going to focus on today. Now, the first problem has to do with being lost in SAM.gov. See, listen, the SAM.gov website is okay. But when we start looking at the filters, when we start looking at the optimization of the website, we start to see a lot of gaps. And within those gaps, we find people struggling. The second problem is that you're paralyzed by the RFP. Let's say that you have established your industry and you know the exact contract you're looking for. When you get into the solicitation, you might find that it's about 50 pages long and it comes with about seven other attachments, three amendments, and you feel a little bit confused. So you find yourself paralyzed by the PDF. Decoding an 80-page solicitation that is full of dense compliance language and jargon. That pushes most small businesses away from bidding on contract as they would like. And then the third one is they're burnt out by the pitch. Yes, you're burnt out by the pitch. And when I talk about the pitch in government contracting, I'm referring to writing proposals. writing proposals that capture the attention of the contracting officer on the other side. This is extremely pertinent. People are spending weeks manually writing a single proposal, which hinders the amount of contracts that they end up applying for. You get tired of the pitch because writing a proposal is too difficult for you. Then we also have to talk about the ultimate operational lever. Like if you've been going through any of these problems, if you are in a situation where you're thinking, these contracts are becoming way too difficult for me to read, the ultimate lever that you could have is an AI tool. That's your ultimate lever. And we are today focusing on Google Gemini as our lever because Google Gemini applies mechanical advantage to your business operations. It multiplies your force by bypassing the friction of federal bidding process. So what you're intending to do at the very moment of using Gemini is to reduce friction. You're looking to reduce friction. So when you're reducing friction, these are the operational shifts that you are going to experience. These are the operational shifts you're going to experience. Going from manual trap into the Gemini lever. The first thing is this: you're not going to spend 3 hours or 3 days on SAM.gov. Okay. You're going to use a Boolean string to search through SAM.gov and you're going to find contracts within 10 minutes. If you're not using SAM.gov, you could also use SAM Search. SAM Search could give you insights on contracts that are due within 14 days and within your wheelhouse. So you could go with the manual method of searching through SAM.gov, or you could go with Gemini that could actually go out and find you some contracts, or you could use SAM Search. And you could also spend 3 days trying to read the RFP, trying to find out what the RFQ is talking about. Spend 3 days, sometimes 7 days, trying to find out exactly what the entire contract is about. That's up to you. But you could also use Gemini to understand exactly what the contract is about within 3 minutes. You can spend 2 weeks trying to write a single bid, while another person would submit about 4 to 5 bids in 2 weeks because they spend only 2 hours writing out the proposal. Because they use something called the proposal builder. For everybody who has been a part of this channel, talking about the proposal builder is no mystery to you. You know exactly what that's all about. Now, one thing that you must understand is that once you have all the information, you've gotten the quotes from your subcontractors, getting that proposal out is much easier because you have all the information to do it. Now, the manual method is going to take you through a high burnout. It's completely unsustainable. You're not going to be able to last long in the game. But then with Gemini, you have a lower burnout because of a scalable flywheel. This is really important. You have a scalable flywheel that you can continue to use. Throw a one in the chat if you're still with me right now on this presentation. Just throw a one in the chat because I can see some people coming in. Yes, yes, that's fantastic. Just throw one in the chat if you're still with me on this particular topic here. But we are trying to differentiate between the manual method, the manual suffering, and the Gemini lever, using artificial intelligence tools essentially as the brain of your operation. This is what we're trying to do. Now, the search problem. Let's start by discussing a little bit on the search problem. Government search filters are fundamentally broken, and some of you should be able to testify. You can let me know in the chat. Have you ever typed in waste management into SAM.gov and then you found yourself in telecommunication devices or cybersecurity? This is something that happens quite often because the filters on SAM.gov are not properly optimized. It's not, and listen, I'm not dissing SAM.gov, saying that, oh, it's totally BS. I'm saying there are times that you type in waste management and you come up with contract and cybersecurity. And what happens is that now you don't know how many contracts are actually in waste management. So if you really want to search for contracts in waste management, there are a few things that I recommend you do, and I'm going to show you as the call goes on. But you want to be able to search for a contract and see a list of all the contracts that are available within that industry. So Gemini has a keyword engine. So this is really good. This is extremely good because when you grab that NAICS code, you can throw that NAICS code into Gemini, and Gemini is going to turn the NAICS code into keywords. It's going to turn the NAICS code into Boolean strings that help you to facilitate your search, to make the search a lot better. So as you can see from the diagram, you can see where the NAICS code is. You take it through Gemini, and what was waste management becomes collection services, landfill management, water waste recycling. And with these keywords, you have the ability now to throw them into SAM.gov, and you can connect to adjacent contracts or contracts within waste management that would have typically never shown up because you were using the SAM.gov filter. I hope this comes in clear. Like if this came in clear, just throw a one in the chat. If this came in clear, I want you to understand this part because searching with only the NAICS code, yeah, I know there's some people that say that that's the only way, but if you really look at the results, you're easily going to find that when you search in waste management, you're not getting the contracts that you're looking for. Okay, so the second problem number two is decoding the government contract. This is one that I talk about every time, and it's because it's not going away anytime soon. Government agencies are not thinking about, oh, well, let's make the solicitation sound simpler so we can get more people to bid. That is not their intention. They're making sure that they are protected, they're legally protected in whatever they put out there. They're making sure that all the references are accurate. And it doesn't matter if you don't understand. What really matters to them is that they put out the right thing, that they went through the right process. It's now your responsibility to begin to understand exactly what they put together. And the biggest issue that most people find is understanding these solicitations to completion. This is where they get stuck. Government solicitations are designed to test your endurance. A single missed compliance clause buried on page 62 will disqualify you weeks before the contract is even due. I need you to focus on getting to understand exactly what the contract is asking for in order for you to make a decision on bidding on that contract or letting it go. It's really important that you're able to make those decisions fast. Okay, so you can throw one in the chat if you want to be able to make those decisions quickly. But again, when we start using Gemini, we're looking for operational precision. And I talk about this a lot on the channel. On one hand, you can use an open account. You can use an open chat GPT. You can use an open Gemini. And on the other hand, you can use the AI GovCon proposal builder. The AI GovCon proposal builder that is designed to break down government solicitations in a specific way. We have been using this for almost 2 years now. April 1st, 2026 would make it 2 years since the AI GovCon has been established. And so far, we've won over $20 million in federal government contracts as a community. You can either use an open Gemini chat or you can use the AI GovCon proposal builder that has been designed to break down government contracts in a specific way. So look at this. If you're looking at rapid Boolean strings, quick keyword generations, and general translation into compliance jargon, this is where an open Gemini account is great. But if you're looking for a systematic teardown of complex RFPs to extract mandatory compliance checklists and perfectly format localized proposal tables of content, then you want to definitely use the AI GovCon proposal builder. This is where this tool becomes a massive edge for you if you have the ability to get a hold of it. By the way, shameless plug, if you want to grab the AI GovCon proposal builder, I suggest you join my inner circle community. In there, you have every single tool that you're going to need outlined in simple step-by-step procedures. But again, you want to either use an open Gemini or a proposal builder, something that's trained, and you can get good results with both, but you waste less time when using the AI GovCon proposal builder. And then the final problem is the proposal problem. Submitting multiple bids manually leads to proposal burnout. Cobbling together disconnected documents results in sloppy, non-compliant pitches. So what you want to do, very importantly, is this. You want to make sure that you're able to write out proposals that are compliant. See, because the problem here is that writing these proposals, it's not the same every time. I still keep talking to people today who are looking for that magic formula. This is the right way to put together a proposal for any government agency and for any industry. I promise you, you're going to keep searching for the rest of your life. There's no particular way to put this together. What I show you here at the AI GovCon is about being adaptable, being able to look at the requirements and put together a proposal that aligns with the requirements that have been given to you by the government. There's no one size fits all proposal template that's going to change your life. So that's why I show you how to use these AI tools to build out custom submissions for your contracts. Now, the AI proposal assembly line, this is an interesting one. You see, you have the deliverables, you have the compliance, you have the pricing. So the deliverables would be the statement of work, what exactly they need you to do. The compliance would be, hey, what's required? Is there a telecommunications thing required? And then pricing that you have established from your subcontractor. You need to put all this information into the Gemini proposal builder, the AI GovCon proposal builder, and it's going to break that information into an executive summary, a technical approach, past performance, pricing structure, the way the government has asked for it. So at the beginning, you're doing a lot of gathering of information. You're going into the solicitation to find out exactly what the government wants. You're going out to your subcontractor to find out exactly how much it will cost for you to get the job done. And then you're coming back to the AI GovCon proposal builder to put this information together into a compelling structure that would capture the attention of the contracting officer on the other side. So this is all we are doing. And then compliance mapping. Let's say you're looking through the government evaluation criteria for requirement A. The AI GovCon proposal builder is going to be same thing goes for requirement C. Now I hope that's clear. You can let me know in the comments if that is clear, but you want to be able to map out your compliance. On one end, the contract says that you need to confirm that you do not have any banned telecommunication devices. Your proposal builder needs to be able to respond to that exact requirement. And that's what the AI GovCon proposal builder does. Okay, with this proposal builder, tons of people have won government contracts using this proposal builder to put together a submission. We had somebody who won two contracts within 37 days with a 31% margin, all because they were able to go through this cycle. They target the contract that they're looking for. They're able to target the contract that they're looking for. And after targeting that contract, they decode the contract, allowing them to break it down into simple language that they can always follow. And then lastly, they pitch the contract, meaning that they have the ability to gather all the information that they compiled from decoding. And now they're able to pitch it to the contracting officer on the other side. This is an extremely important cycle that has allowed our community members to win over $20 million in federal government contracts. So government contracting is a numbers game requiring a volume and precision. And this is the flywheel that allows a one person team to operate with the capacity of a 10-person team. But this is only going to be possible if you actually do the reps, if you actually follow the instructions and follow the target, decode, and pitch cycle. So, guys, I've done a lot of talking right now. I would really like to go into showing you exactly how we can do this. So, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take my face off the screen. I'm going to get out of the slides. And first things first, I'm going to go into SAM.gov. And also, I'm going to open Gemini. Now, because today, part of our plan is to work on waste management contracts. This is what it's going to look like. I'm going to use the transcription tool here on Gemini, and it's going to go a little something like this. I'm going to say, hey, I am looking to create some industry specific keywords so I can search for contract in the waste management field on SAM.gov. So the first thing I would like you to do is to find the NAICS code for waste management. And after finding the NAICS code for waste management, I would like you to generate at least 5 industry keywords that would help me connect to adjacent industries with SAM.gov. Now, of course, there are going to be some mistakes. Jason, so let's see. Let's see how this comes up. Okay, this is very cool. It says, hey, searching for contract on SAM.gov, which I suspect is the sound that go. So you see, it was able to find out that mistake. So in other words, it was able to get me a couple of NAICS codes for solid waste collection, hazardous waste treatment and disposal, remediation services, and septic tank and related services. Now, in order to connect to adjacent industries, what it did is like to find contracts that are waste adjacent, meaning they involve waste but might be listed under a different category like construction or facilities. This is another thing that I like to really talk about. Sometimes a waste management contract can be listed under a different category. That's not something to be too surprising. Okay. So, what we have here is adjacent industries like environmental remediation, debris removal. Pro tip for SAM.gov: when you are on the site, don't just search the NAICS code filter, also search the product service code. Okay, cool. We have some industry keywords here created by Gemini. And what I'm immediately going to do is I'm going to grab facility support services, for example. I'm going to throw it into our search bar. And within the search bar, you can see legal services, unaccompanied alien child, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. You can see that we are already running into the first problem where SAM.gov can be a little bit confusing, where it doesn't give us the exact results that we're looking for. So I'm going to go in again. I'm going to try something like debris removal. So operation and maintenance of government-owned facilities and equipment. Tennessee, Tommy. Okay, okay. So let's see. This is an updated solicitation. Whitney Port regulating outlet gate repair. Okay, air handler repairs. So again, I'm just looking through this. This is an award notice. Some of these have already been awarded. I'm going to remove all inactives. Now, with this process again, this is where a lot of labor comes in. If we were using a tool like SAM Search, for example, we have the ability to easily find contracts that are in waste management because SAM Search has an optimized AI filter. So it allows you to find contracts much easier than using the SAM.gov tool. Now, check this out. I'm going to type in waste management, and I can equally use the filters here. So we want things that are due in the next 30 days. We want the post date to be from the past week, nothing that was posted too far off. So already we're seeing like trash removal. If you can see this, this is trash removal, and it was posted 19 hours ago, and it's due in 1 month. This is set aside for total small business. So these are good signs. This is YSSE. So the Department of Interior Bureau of Reclamation is soliciting proposals for trash removal services in Wyoming. Okay, so I'm guessing that's what YW or WY means. So this opportunity is set aside for small businesses and it requires expertise in waste management. Interested bidders should prepare and submit their proposals by the specified deadline. So let's check this out. One of the greatest things about SAM Search is that the interface is super simple. You get all this information that you're looking for at a glance, and that's what we're seeing right here. But we're not focused on SAM Search today. The main focus today is really breaking down the contract with Gemini. So I have gone into the original SAM.gov link, and you can see we have a bunch of general information. We know this is a solicitation. It's due on the 22nd of April and it was released yesterday. Okay. And again, total small business set aside, very short description. We have two attachments, and this is how I typically like these things. So, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to download the two attachments. Guys, if you're still with me up until this point, you can throw one in the chat. Show me that you are still here. Testing one. All right. Value from this live contracting officer on the other side. Doing a weird. Now with this process again, this is where. Okay, so I think there was a bit of a technical difficulty there, but I'm back. Okay, so look at this. I have downloaded the two attachments, and here we are right now. Attachments have been downloaded, and I'm going to go into the AI GovCon proposal builder, which is the tool that I'm going to be using. Okay, so I think there was a bit of a technical. Which is the tool that I'm going to be using to break things down. Again, before there was a long pause. This is the SAM.gov original link, and what we can see here is that this is a solicitation. It's in. Oh, here's the product service code. It's actually housekeeping and trash garbage collection. Now, we have downloaded both of the attachments, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drag those two attachments into Gemini. Now, let's be clear. This is what we have done. We've been able to generate industry keywords, industry specific keywords from the NAICS code that we are pursuing. And with those keywords, we were able to search for a contract. And after searching for the contract that we're looking for, we got the attachments, opened the AI GovCon proposal builder, and dragged those attachments in there. So all I'm going to say is break these down. I think today I'm going to go a bit further and show you some more interesting things that you can actually do with Gemini. And on the other hand, as well, I'm going to open Notebook LM so you can see a different way that you can break down contracts for the people who are afraid of hallucinations. I'm going to show you something right here, right now. I'm going to attach these two documents. Okay, that's one document in, and then I'm going to attach the second one. and you're going to see what happens. Again, for anyone who does not know anything about Notebook LM, in one simple sentence, I can tell you that Notebook LM is an AI tool that allows you to create your own universal source of truth. What we've done right now is we've attached these two attachments into Notebook LM, and we have created a universal point of truth where any question I ask in the chat bar over here is going to pick its answers from these attachments over here. I hope that's clear. I made a video talking about this already, so you can go check it out. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to Gemini and we're going to look at our breakdown. One of the best things about this breakdown is that you can actually see exactly where each information comes from. So I click on this, it shows me exactly where that information is coming from, what page, and it actually goes as far as highlighting exactly what it is. So if I'm trying to confirm that, okay, you claim that the title of this solicitation is trash removal, show me exactly where that information is located. It's going to take me to this page, and as you can see, this is highlighted in blue. These are some of the simple things that, or the simple conveniences that you have with Gemini that gives you the confidence that this AI thing is not just hallucinating, it's getting you the information from very specific places. But what you can tell right now is that number one, the entire attachment has been broken down. Check this out. This is we have the solicitation summary, trash removal services, we have the issuing agency, we have the NAICS code, we have the statement of work. The statement of work is to provide reliable and efficient trash removal services for the Simcoe Dam facility in a remote area of Wyoming. So it's a remote area of Wyoming. If you wanted to confirm that, you click and it's going to take you directly to the page and it's going to highlight exactly where that information came from in the paragraph. So it says subpart 12.6 is supplemented with additional information, including this notice. The Bureau of Reclamation has required to obtain for as a requirement to obtain for trash removal services Simcoe Dam facility in Wyoming. The scope is of this firm fixed price contract is for services as identified in the included statement of work. So you can see all that information is really clear. Contract in minutes. In minutes. Now, check this out. Look at the submission instructions. I get this question all the time. Godwin, how do I know exactly what to submit? I don't want to overdo it, and I certainly do not want to underdo it. So, what exactly do I do? Well, in the con proposal builder, what you're going to notice all the time, and when I say all the time, I literally mean all the time, it's going to break it down by giving you a solicitation summary first, then it's going to give you a statement of work summary next, and then it's going to give you a submission instruction next. The key word in the first two, summary. If you want a more detailed solicitation breakdown, going from a 10,000-foot view down to, let's say, 5,000 feet, you can also say, hey, I'd like to know more details about the solicitation. Again, the keyword here is summary. If you want to get more details about the statement of work, all you need to do is say, hey, give me the full detail of the statement of work, and you're ready to go. Okay, then the submission instructions. If you want to get more detail about the submission instructions, although there's no summary written by it, it's also going to give you more details if there are more details. But as you can see, the requirements are simple. Format is written, signed, quote, submitted via email. So there's a possibility that you might not need to write a full-on proposal, but we need to find out. So again, if you are not sure, if you think that the information is a bit wonky, you can always go back to the reference. It says written signed quotes with contact information are due no later than April 22nd at 11:59 by email. So you email this person. And here they need a completed SF 1449, a completed price schedule table for the basis and all for the base year and all option years. So let's see if they gave us a table on what the prices should look like. And guess what? They absolutely did. So here you can see, please complete provided price schedule table below. So, guys, you don't need to go out and create your own table. You don't need to become a mind reader to find out exactly what the government wants in this situation. All you have to do is follow the instructions as seen. Guys, if you're not given a pricing sheet, by the way, you can actually create your own pricing sheet by simply copying a pricing sheet and sending it to ChatGPT or Gemini. You can say, hey, listen, replicate this pricing sheet and add in all the answers. So guys, this is actually amazing. You have all that information, but look at the confidence that you get being able to click on the reference and see that, oh, this information is not being made up, it's not being hallucinated. It's something that is actually available in the solicitation with this highlight feature. This is one of the reasons why I like Gemini so much. Now I can ask it to create a checklist of all the things I need to have a viable submission. Check this out. So we have administrative and registration requirements. Are you registered to SAM.gov? Do you have a small business status? If you have those two things, then your administrative and registration requirements are out the window. Mandatory forms and signage. You have an SF 1449 that needs to be done. Block 1217. We've talked about this on many occasions. Reps and certs. By the way, do not ever get intimidated by reps and certs. If you have a valid SAM.gov account, that means you have reps and certs. You have the ability to go in and download these reps and certs from your SAM.gov account. I have people asking me all the time, Godwin, how do I fill in my reps and certs? So my counter question to that is, hey, do you have a SAM.gov account? Because once you have a SAM.gov account, you have your reps and certs done. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. Complete the offer, representations, and certifications to ensure SAM.gov profile is current and covered. Okay, so you're making sure your SAM.gov account is up to date. No big deal. Technical requirements, dumpster provision. This is all stuff that you're going to get from the subcontractor. And then the last thing is pricing schedule, also some information you get from the subcontractor. But look, I want to do something else. I want to go into research mode. I want to see if I can search for some prices and have an idea. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to speak to Gemini. Hey, listen, I'm looking to find out some pricing, and I want you to do some hardcore research and find out what would they really price for a contract like this. I want you to put the information in tabular form that is similar to the pricing that has been given in the government solicitation document. And I also want you to arrange this in three tiers. Number one, I want you to have tier one to be the top of the block, the best of the best, the creme de la creme. And I want tier three to be the lowest level and tier two to be market standards. And please have references available for me to see exactly where you got all of this from. One of the things I really like about speaking to Gemini is that I realize that I say exactly how things are on my mind, and it's easier for me to communicate and quicker. By the way, I want you to know that you speak way faster than you type, and you're going through this process so quickly. Now, what we're seeing in front of us again is tier one premium pricing. For when it comes down to premium pricing, is best for high compliance providers with dedicated remote area fleets. It includes wind resistance latching covers, lock bars to prevent unauthorized use, and a clean site guarantee where the driver cleans a 10 feet radius around the bin. Pricing basis, it reflects high end rates seen in Cheyenne Casper municipal schedule for outside city limits. Okay, so we have two established local haulers like Wyoming Waste Systems or specialized GovCon subcontractors, standard weekly 6 yard service and demand 20 yard service. So derived from 240 to 265 per month, average for 6 yard bin in Wyoming commercial sectors, and $665 flat rate for 20 yard roll off. So again, I gave it a few instructions. I see that it didn't really. Okay, look at what happened. This is actually very cool. So when using the AI.gov proposal builder, it's going to ask you mandatory screening questions. I did ask it to give me my information in a tabular form. Now, it didn't do that because these mandatory screening questions have not been answered. So, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to answer them. The name of my company is ABC Ltd. I do not have a company URL. I am subcontracting the work, but I don't want my subcontractor to be named. So here are the references, by the way. You have your data references. You can go in and literally check. Like you see, right here, they gave us an exact pricing sheet from the city of Cheyenne solid waste management fee schedule. Okay, so let's see if there's another like this dumpster rental Wyoming. It was able to go through this website to get possible numbers and quotes. And let's see the last one. Okay, there's another one here. So they also used these prices over here. So when I told it to do the research, you can see that the research was done. Okay, the research was done, and these are the prices that we get to see. Now let's check this out again. And there's one last one, gate fees. I just wanted to go through these references so you can see that this research is being done from actual references. You don't need to be worried, but it's also good to check. It's also good to verify. I like to verify everything as well. So I have told it the name of my company and all that good stuff. So the next thing I want to do now is okay, thank you for providing those details. Since you are subcontracting but wish to keep the subcontractor's identity private, I would refer to them as the team throughout the proposal. This means a professional, unified front while satisfying the requirements to disclose that you have the necessary capacity and specialized equipment. So it goes straight into the table of contents. Now, I also want to go in to find out, do I really need a table of content for this? Or is there any written submission? Or do I just need to fill out some forms? This is very important. You don't want to start writing out some kind of encyclopedia when you don't need to. Some of these contracts need you to fill out a form and call it a day. So check this out. This is a common misconception that small trash or service contracts only require filling out forms. While the forms are the legal part of your bid, they are rarely enough to win if there is competition. So here's a breakdown of why you need both the must haves and compliance. You strictly need to fill out the following form from the solicitation package to avoid being disqualified immediately. So this is saying if you don't fill this out, you're getting disqualified immediately. SF 1449, price schedule, reps and certs. Okay, so these three things they need to be done. Again, if you have a SAM.gov account, your reps and certs are already done regarding telecommunications devices. Another way you can fulfill on this compliance requirement is to write a written note saying, hey, listen, we do not use any telecommunication devices, and you send that in as a separate PDF. That works as well. So, the winning factor, technical codes. The solicitation states that the government will evaluate technical capabilities. If you only send the forms, the contracting officer has no proof that you can actually have the dumpsters, the trucks, or the ability to reach the remote Simcoe Dam area. So the table of contents and a brief written submission are necessary because number one, it provides responsibility. It shows that you have a team and a plan. Number two, it addresses the performance work statement. So the statement of work has specific requirements. A written section allows you to say ABC Ltd will provide 6 yard dumpsters equipped with reinforced wind resistant latching covers as required by section 2.1. You see how this is important. Some people are always asking, I only want to fill out forms. I don't want to write a written submission. But in a place where there's a lot of competition, expect to write some kind of written work. Professionalism. In comparative evaluation, the CEO compares your bid to others. A well organized document with a table of content looks like $100 million company, even if you're a small business. So portray yourself like $100 million company by writing out a good submission. But here again, do you really need the table of contents? For a simple trash collection contract, you should technically skip the formal table of contents if your written response is only 2 to 3 pages. However, following the government contracting without tiers methodology, we use it to ensure that we don't miss a single requirement. It acts as a map and our answers quickly. So, guys, this is also really great. Would you like to skip the table of contents and just draft a concise 2 page technical capability? In some scenarios, you can say yes. Hey, listen, I just want to draft a 2 page technical capability. I'm going to fill out the forms that I need to fill out, and I'm going to be on my way. You don't always need to write some encyclopedia level thing, okay? So, understood. Since we're following the government without contracting tier, we'll proceed to the table of contents. Okay, so it didn't get my instruction, but here's what I'm going to do. I would like you to write the technical 2 page statement as opposed to the government contracting without tiers plan. So I can see that there was a little bit of error, but I believe that it's going to understand exactly what I said. So it goes straight into technical capability statement. Okay, so check this out. Check this out. It says ABC Ltd is pleased to submit this quotation for trash removal services at the Bureau of Reclamation Simcoe facilities. We are a small business committed to providing reliable, environmentally responsible waste management in compliance with all local regulations. By leveraging the team, our specialized technical partner, we ensure that remote logistical challenges of Carbon Country, Wyoming are met with professional grade equipment and consistent service. Now, there's one thing I really want you to know at this point, that this output that you get here is not set in stone. Let's say you have an output like this and you read the first paragraph, you're not happy with the way the first paragraph reads, you have the ability to change it. You can say, hey, listen, I'm not happy with the way this reads. I want it to be more professional. Hey, listen, I think this is too bulky. I want it to have less details. Hey, I think there are too many paragraphs. I want you to remove the paragraphs. Hey, I don't like the dashes of death. I want you to remove the dashes of death. What I want you to understand completely is that you need to be able to change the output to what you think is suitable. Very important. So let's check out this technical approach and equipment. ABC Ltd will provide all necessary equipment and vehicles in clean operational condition to fulfill the performance work statement. Commercial dumpster services, we will supply and maintain 2 6-yard dumpsters at the Simcoe housing area fueling station. These units will feature window resistant latching covers specifically designed to prevent debris from escaping in the high wind environment of the dam facilities. Guys, you can see that what we have here is also referencing pages within the solicitation, showing you that it's aligning what it's saying in the proposal with the information it has gotten from the solicitation. And what else do you need? What other form of confidence do you need? Guys, if you are following in the chat, I just want you to smash the like button. I want you to share this video with someone who you believe is going to gain value from it, because I've been talking a lot, but what I'm showing you here is a workflow. It's a workflow that is going to get you further than the people who think that they're only going to read the proposals or read the solicitations that they print out and wait 10 days to write their first proposal. Smash the like button, guys. Invite someone to this live stream, because truly what we're doing here, no one else is doing it. If you're tired of gaining all this information and information and information, but now you want to start actually working towards submitting your first bid, this is the channel you need to be on. This is the channel you need to be on. No, but I went into a little bit of a rant there because I want you to see the value of what we're talking about here. This is giving you the steps to begin to submit your first proposal. And as you can see again, you're very confident with Gemini because it references exactly where it's getting the information from. You're not left clueless at any point in time. And that's why I want you to smash the like button, guys. Like I think this was a very very interesting live. Started at 7 o'clock. It's 7:50 by my time. I can take a few questions in the comments, but what I would really want from you right now is for you to join my school community. I have left a description or a link in the description. I would like you to join my school community. It's going to be great to have you there. Some of the things that you might want to know about the school community, very simple. This is what we have to offer. This is the community. As you can see, we're currently live. Once you click on this place, you're able to go into our live stream. But not only that, within our school community, we have a classroom section where we have a lot of things outlined. We have the ebook government contracting without tears. We have a couple of modules that you can go through. But if you want to step up your game, you can join our AI GovCon inner circle. This is where the classroom section is super robust. It teaches you how to manage your contracts, how to get industry keywords, how to break down government solicitations, the basics, subcontractor success, smart proposals. And in here, I have kept the GPTs that would help you to break down contracts the way I have broken down these contracts. If you feel compelled to win your first government contract, to submit your first bid, and to stop being in that wheelhouse of constantly getting information that doesn't really help you, I want you to join our inner circle. It will be amazing to welcome you there personally. But, guys, with that being said, I'm going to chill and I'm going to wait for questions within the live. But I want you to join the inner circle.